背号0号陈玉瑞，5号林子伟，8号 Number 8 Richard Filo， 10号苏志成，15号碰碰陈冠全，22号黄宏汉，30号小白白耀成，69号卢俊祥。接下来介绍桃园璞园领航员先发5人 Starting Five， 背号21号陈立焕，25号林正，27号张镇雅，28号阿瑶施晋阳，40号 Number 42 Johnson Washburn， 总经理陈锡安，总教练 Head Coach 唐米洛，助理教练 Gomez 杨怡峰、黄启峰，技术教练唐伟杰，体能教练刘连杰。接下来介绍是主队球员新北国王篮球队。背号1号吕书伟，6号士官长杨建明，10号谢佑哲，15号曾宇豪，19号防守大锁林金宝，22号高承恩，25号叶欧马，50号 Wesley Davis。接下来是新北国王先发5人 Starting Five， 0号李瑞奇，3号陈俊南，4号李威霆，5号 Number 5充满爱的穆勒斯，8号 Number 8 Jeremy Lo， 总经理毛家恩，总教练 Head Coach Lion， 球员发展顾问许浩成，数据分析师林振宇，体能教练张崇熙、刘振宇，防务员邱国凯、吴传豪，球队经理洪志武。好，请双方球员呢互相握手致意，也请双方球员进行最后的暖身。也为大家介绍本场裁判林坤林、张伟俊、洪永玉。 好，精彩比赛呢，等会就正式开始了。那这边呢，也再一次提醒所有球迷朋友，我们本场馆呢已经开放饮食了，但是呢，为了配合政府的防疫政策，我们饮食完毕之后呢，全程还是要请大家佩戴口罩。观看比赛的时候，还是要请大家佩戴口罩。饮食完毕，将口罩佩戴起来。而与斋逢双十连假这3天连假呢，我们疫情也逐渐攀上高峰。我们希望呢，各位可以维护自己身体健康的安全，手部呢也要做局部的消毒以及清洁。那另外呢，再次感谢我们一期直播光明赞助我们这次热身赛，在我们环廊处呢有一期直播的互动摊位，只要下载一期直播。
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, seniors and youth. Welcome to the Double 10 edition of a Plus League basketball. It is the preseason, and in fact, the earliest preseason in Plus League history. First game we have on the docket at 2:30 local time is the Taoyuan Pauian Pilots and the new Taipei Kings. Philippines on the road, and you get to see the home of Kaohsiung Steelers in the evening game against the Shinjuku Lioneers. And if you pay close attention to the score standings on screen right now, this is the day of the 0-1 redemption series as the Taipei Pauian Braves and the Formosa Tyson Dreamers were able to sweep their 2 games respectively. On the Mandarin broadcast is Aaron Yangzele on the left. He'll be providing color commentary. And on the right, Tai Jinjing, Tai Bao on his 3rd day of work over on the Mandarin side. Thank you for joining us. 球迷朋友们要看到中文转播的蔡包跟伟哥，当然要按照中文的连接。谢谢你收看英文的转播。In the first game for the first 3 picks, as they have special names for him, the first overall is Zhuangyuan, and he's Zhang Zhenyan, the forward out of Zhenzi University, and the second is called a Fangyan. That's Chen Fan Boyan with the Braves. Had a much better second game with 18 points. Fortunately had that ankle turn close to the end of the game. And the third overall pick is called Tan Hua, and that's Ethan Bayao Chen. He only scored 2 points in his debut, though Caminos did spread the minutes quite wide amongst all the 13 players registered for the game. We got some new faces that we'll introduce you to. Xiaobai notably getting drafted in 2 different leagues here in Taiwan. There are 3 leagues overall, and 16 teams vying for new talent every year and trying to make their way to the top of their own respective leagues. Well, here in the Plus League, the Pilots finished last overall in last year's standings, and they actually had the pick that came over from the Kings. And that player was Chen Junan in last year's draft, and this year's first round pick turned into 3rd overall buyout, and as the Kings finished 4th. Jason Washburn talking it over with Coach Caminos on the Pilots bench on that side. We're still waiting on the arrival of Sani, who was Caminos' player over in the other leagues. He's also played in the SPL, so the man has been around Taiwan a little bit. There's Rivero, only a couple weeks with the Pilots, but showed up a great feel for the game, a soft touch from 3, and a very quick free throw routine. We might have to get somebody to put on a stopwatch. On screen, D was drafted 4th overall, but recovering from an ACL injury that he never really healed up properly, as he and Maya Zhang played in the UBA, the Collegiate Championship here in Taiwan, and was able to capture the title over one of the players on the other team for the Kings, actually. Caminos joining the Plus League on the Pilots staff, heading that operation up. That makes it 4 coaches from abroad among the 6 Plus League teams. The 2 locals are Greg Guanlun with the Lioneers and Roger Trujita with the Braves. But other coaches include Brian Marchand for the Kings, who you see in the evening, Gorgovich, or Coach Lale, as we call him, with the Steelers. The last one is the longest tenured one, and Coach Kyle Julius they head into their huddle. Coach Caminos joined our broadcast yesterday, I believe it was the second game, and talked about the stylistic differences you might find in Asia, and in fact, more specifically in Taiwan. Well, on a teppanyaki stove is Li Weiting, rookie out of Sishin University. He went on the P.LEAGUE's partly affiliated podcast, Showtime Li Tai, to show off his variety of interests. He had a great for debut and also started the game. He will be in the starting lineup for this one once again. As Coach Marchand mentioned before, that pretty intentional about playing kind of their lineups, their rotations, and even sometimes their systems a little bit backwards or lopsided, just in the preseason, testing things out and letting some guys who might not get the opportunity to play. So interestingly enough, they have 3 of their main guys registered, including, you might see on screen, Quincy Davis, Amigo, and Joseph Lin. But if this game is all about some of the younger players, then the Kings will be starting rookie Li Weiting, obviously, and then childhood friend Chen Junan. Both of those guys end up going to Taisan High School before splitting up for college. Chen Junan actually went to a university, National Taiwan University of Sport in Taoyuan, where the pilots are located city-wise. But 5 of his alumnus play for the pilots. That's the most overall in the league for that one university. But drafted by the Kings, 4th overall. Little tweak to the starting lineups. We start with the pilots. Sijian will start the game, number 28, the captain of the pilots. Expect him to play a little bit more point guard, in fact. Calvin Senlihuan got traded over from the Dreamers. Mao, of course. Lingsa, the center, and Jason Washburn, the center. For the Kings, they have Li Weiting starting at guard, Chen Junan alongside of him, Jamel Artis, Byron Mullins, and newly named Li Reiqi. We'll go with Martin this year after being Mason all of last year in his first year at the P.LEAGUE. Post those up. The team in black, the new Taipei Kings, will start with possession. They're attacking the basket on the right. Kind of funny because in the P.LEAGUE we follow the FIBA book, and so when FIBA, because of COVID, changed the starting baskets from attacking the opposite bench to starting on your own bench, we made that change too. Armand misses his first 3, but the Kings can't get a second shot up. Johnson, yeah, takes the fall, but recovers. Yao has about 4 or 5 centimeters on his counterpart at guard. Calvin, his quick 3, no, and Lington gets an extra possession to the shooter, no good. Sunshine to Steve, pulls down the rebound. The Pilots right now cross-matched up in a lot of spots. Artist throws it almost out of bounds. Byron Mullins saves it, but it's a Pilots break. They spread out wide. Aya 3 is good. A little bit of a messy start, but good execution in the fast break. Steve with a tough turnaround shot off the back iron, and here come the Pilots. Now, plenty of talk in Taiwan about the poor play of some of the imports, but it's only a first game as Mayao gets the 3 from the other side. Mayao is his Aboriginal name, and carrying over from the CPBL. That's typically how we call those players. Maybe a little higher percentage from baseball from the basketball. Byron Mullins able to lay it in. Got called for a violation in yesterday's game, touching the ball before it's inbounded. Safe on that try. Lingston is Ken. He's providing a lot of screening action. The Kings covered up, but Washburn can't finish, and Lingston with the 2. An 8-2 start for the Pilots, though. Have to be worried. The Kings did start 8-0 against the Braves yesterday. So after 3 quarters of close basketball, they broke it open in the end. Oh, it's a fadeaway, and it's got the soft throw. Now in the preseason, we got a backdoor foul by Taoyuan. A step behind. Right in front of us here on the English broadcast table. During the regular season, you're allowed to play 2 import players. And only 1 in the 4th quarter and overtime. But in the preseason, you could register 3, play 2 for the first 3 quarters, and 1 in the 4th and overtime. Joseph Lin is checked in the game. There he is, next to Aya. Traded over from the Braves in exchange for rookie 3rd overall pick KJ Homkaijia, and they call him the crazy shooter Steve-O. Got one too. Little movement. Mullins goes left, misses with the roll there. Successful on the previous. Mason leading the pack and able to lay it in for 2. Last year he was Lee Ingful, and this year going with Lee Reichi. And as we talked about with Coach Caminos in Taiwan, the ROC, you can change your names a limited number of times, and it's actually becoming more of a common thing. Joseph Lin gets his paws on it. Joseph Lin over to Artis. Looking for Mullins, who gets the finish and the foul. Byron Mullins testing out that shot from outside. Right now his best value is in close. That's the first foul on the Pilot side, Lingston. So Mullins leads the pack with 7 out of the 9 points for the Kings. Now played point guard in the first year of the Plus League, but they had more guards playing as he knocks down a 3. This time from about 45 on the right side. Mullins with a big spin move, tough shot. They can't get another chance, and another ball thrown out of bounds. Has shot his share of air balls, but good so far in a couple tries. Lucas down 6'9", fresh in the game, scores on the fake handoff. That's the play he loves to run often, as Artis gets to the bucket and scores. Well, the team's got a taste of this against the Braves. Now they try to pay it forward against the Pilots. There's kind of targeting Taoyuan on the defensive end. getting a word from his coaches over there as we have our first timeout in the game. Thanks for joining this Plus League broadcast. After the break, back with more basketball.
1手比1，1手比7，你就可以到我们17直播摊位区来换取我们的奖品以及礼物。我们可以换到当天的证件袋或零钱包哦。好，来，这位美女朋友，弹幕拍到你了，1手比1，1手比7，1手 ，yes， 谢谢，比得非常正确，感谢你，很好。来，这位美女朋友，对，弹幕拍到你了，在我们1楼的就是你，1手比1，1手比7，感谢，谢谢。后面的拍照也可以哦。来，这是我们贵宾这边1楼比1，1手比7，谢谢，比得非常的标准。好，就是你了，没错。哎，大家今天都做得很棒，这个7都没有向上比，对，已经做对，但是 OK的。好，谢谢。好，拍照也可以一起比哦，1手比1，1手比7。
You know how you can help the Plus League grow? By leaving a like on all of our streams. We've got a Mandarin broadcast, an English broadcast. If you want to get ahead of the work, you can head on to the evening games as well. Right now, 16-11 is the score in a preseason game. Not going to count for anything standings-wise. Talk about preseason winners. I mean, the Pilots in year 1 to year 2 sure made some noise, bringing up 5 guys from their Pauian team at the SBL level. Meanwhile, the Kings did put a little bit more. Number 8, Artis hits the free throw. That's got to be a great feeling. I haven't played basketball in a while, but hitting a shot, then coming back from a timeout to hit a free throw. Trying to look for Lingza. They cover that up. So Ayao, tough layup. Try to target that toward Washburn. Ready for the putback. Might have to check the scores table if one day that can be made into a missed shot assist. Artis right. Joseph on the other side. Martin with his 3, no. Referee called the ball out of bounds. We'll stay with the King. To see Ayao trying some tricky layups that he's been working on in the pregame. Coach Caminos brought in assistant Gonzalez, who pregame spends a lot of times with every position group working on some different moves, and every coach and every staff has got their guy. Shot goes up and made. Again by Artis. Now Ribeiro and Ayao, we'll see who runs more of the point. 9 points in his debut, down to Washburn. Got that size advantage, tough fadeaway, and got the touch. Martin in the face of number 15, Pong Pong. Trying to change up his luck, perhaps. He was the captain of the Pilots last year. Odd place for him to catch. He'll try the 2-pointer. No good. Justin provides help, but allows the drive. Sliding over to cover a little bit of the middle. As looks like Rivero got beat on the transition. Both coming in 2 at a time. Quincy Davis, number 50, alongside with last year's MVP, Yang Jingmi, Amigo. making their preseason debut the day after their team debuted. Meanwhile, the pilots will be going smaller. Jason Washburn and Lington on the bench. Mahan will take the low block, number 22. Now Jamel Artis tying Byron with 7 points. Looks really steady at the line. Handoff for Justin. Got a creep block by Mullins. Quincy Davis now will lead the pack. A little big-to-big action. Q screen for Amigo. Looking for the mismatch. The double comes. His pass. What a beauty. And a foul at the basket. Threw it into space, and Artis went to go get it. So much for Coach Marchand talking about not having their system in place, though maybe you could say that's just a more instinctual play. He's able to get it around the jumping defender. So even more free throws. So the Pilots have only committed, relatively speaking, 4 team fouls. Only one by the Kings. You see in that little hash mark underneath the point total. Makes another one. So it's a 2-point deficit for the Kings heading down on defense. As a league employee, I can reveal fans can be looking forward to a new visual as Rivero hits his first shot of the game. This time on the left side, after making his hay on the right side, more or less, yesterday's game against the Dreamers. They look to be in strong form after a second-place finish 2 seasons in a row. Davis clears some room for Amigo. His pull-up jumper. Amigo was really an outlier statistically. As Rivero gets the hezzy, but doesn't get to the other side for the score. Right in front of the Pilots bench, they want something for that. Definitely not the dartiest players we're learning, Rivero, but has great control of pace. All hand. This is on that 3. With a crease, they call a foul underneath. Substitution to get former Pauian legend, Pauian Soul Pauian, and a one-time pilot for 1 game at the end of the season. Number 19, Ling Jingfang, who signed as a free agent with the Kings. He and Quincy Davis. I don't know if Wu Jingxiang figured that he hasn't played, so his jersey might be a little cleaner. Not advisable kids. Their parents would be not happy. Coach Marchand there, patrolling the sideline for the Kings. He made his broadcasting debut yesterday in the early game. He also talked about the physicality and maybe more so the defensive technique. And I guess the offensive counters that you need. A little bit more resistance on the outside. Pong Pong matched up on Q, former teammates in the first season. Tough fadeaway, easy block for Davis. Down the end, Amigo can't corral the pass. Energy for the Pilots as Wu Jingxiang over to Ethan, his 3, got it. Good patience for the Pilots. That's something that they've struggled with a lot. Joseph Glenn helps out Amigo with some space. No good with the lock-on. As Wu Jinxiang is fouled on the turnaround heading the other way. There we see Pong Pong trying a quick shot, but Davis just too long. Standing at 6'9", he's not even a ginormous center when he played in the SBL. That award still belongs to Sim Bular, who is the biggest player in the Plus League so far in 2 seasons and a preseason. He's been playing dangerously by the timeline. We'll try again. Still no good, as they say the ricochet, it's like one of the Kings players knocked it into Ling Zhen. Number 30, Ethan, is actually a local kid. Went to Iso University down here in Kaohsiung. Omar, number 25, kind of had a rough outing yesterday. We'll work on that. Ego's tough turnaround to brick. Calvin, his quick 3 off the back iron. Pilots lead by 5. Active hands by Ethan. He was a leader in that category over in the UBA level. Tries the behind the head into a crowd as Davis leading little numbers advantage. Ping pong missing on his runner. Leans away, crashes in, and they're going to call a charge. Joseph Lin had the courage and the smarts to stay in there on the break. Leans away didn't play yesterday and is getting his first taste of Plus League basketball as after being part of the Rising Stars. There we see the referees doing a good job in transition. Not an easy call with 3 guys on the move. And of course 10 players in the middle of it. And that one poke free, and Omar catching it in a spot. It's really not a threat. Got the swirl play going on, and Amigo saves it from going out of bounds. Tough fadeaway. Here come the Pilots with energy. Ethan will try again from the corner. Hits it. One play left for the Kings as Coach Marchand let the guys go. Over on the right side. Bounce, no good. Chrissy Davis just gets a little extra work out there with the putback that won't count. Some pretty sharp shooting from the Pilots as they're going to have the lead at the end of the first quarter in this Plus League preseason game. Thanks for watching, folks. We got a break. More basketball on the way.
国网跟领航员球迷一同来参与，好不好？来，首先是领航员的球迷在哪里？这个声音太小声了。来，国网的球迷在哪里？还有，那边有国网的球迷。来，1楼有没有？后面。好，来，这领航员的球迷给我更大声的热情。好，中间的那边这一个。好，拿到这4位小球的朋友呢，等会在第2节剩下3分钟的时候，请听号广播到1楼的东门找工作人员做集合。我要请你们呢来参加我们的中场游戏，谢谢。
I just don't get how you left so quick. You broke my heart and I'm a mess again. I just don't get it how you left so quick. Just 15 minutes, now you texting. You broke my heart and I'm a mess again. How do you love somebody? How do you love somebody else? 'Cause when you left I lost myself. Baby, baby, tell me how do you love somebody?
It's a long weekend here in Taiwan as we celebrate, call it Double 10 Day, 国庆假, which is the founding of the nation.
节间休息时间结束。
Xiao Bai, only with one bucket in his preseason debut, hitting a couple threes. And in our observation of him in college and in the Rising Stars, he almost gets more deadly the further out he shoots it. Speaking of another local kid, number 5 Lin Ziwei, who committed that charge, if you remember. He came from Kaohsiung Normal University, which normal means maybe a little bit more educators university, where a lot of teachers might come out. Washburn hands it off to Wayne Ziwei. He throws it errantly to the score table. Good idea, just need to execute better. He'll get more chances as the game goes along. Second-year player Zheng Yunhao, top the corner, number 15. Calvin chasing around Amigo. Zheng Yunhao goes for the shot, and he gets the swirl. Kings didn't arrive till about an hour and a half before tip-off, and they didn't spend that much time shooting, but they look very familiar with the rim on that side. Ken banks it in from the top. Not much of a reaction after that one. So the bench had a lot of fun with it. Already 8 made threes, and that's a form of success. Vigo immediately with the answer. All-plus league team player with the Dreamers in the first season, and then an MVP candidate, as we mentioned. Leads away, this time throws it between 2 players. Then actually had one of his best games after hitting a 3 or 2. Joseph Flynn takes the hard, difficult shot. Washburn look like he's as willing as other bigs to be a point center as Ethan gets it to Wayne, who scores the 3. A little catching and shooting, more of his forte to start things off. Sit at 190, but probably going to be playing the guard role more. Flynn likes going right after faking left. He is mostly ambidextrous, so Zheng Yunhao gets into trouble. Running out of time. Joseph Flynn missing the floater, and Lin Zheng with the board. The Pilots, pretty good form. Probably the delight of some more traditional basketball fans. Calvin, in and out. Washburn, fouled at the rim. Zheng Yunhao. Not much you can do here. That tattoo across his chest is new. You get a replay. Definitely tough underneath, but sometimes the player, you're more or less at the mercy of the whistle when you're that close to the basket. First one is good. 42 Washburn now has 6 points. In that update. Miss on the second. Davis, one of the best three-point shooters. We'll save it for now. I had no idea where that pass was going, but Washburn kind of hits it out of bounds for the Kings to give it another try. Running low on clock. Amigo skies high. He misses the deep shot. Quick drag screen as Ethan taking some hits, but throws it out. Got the mismatch. Hall comes to help. Passes to a free teammate. And the awkward runner leads to a few rebounds. Well, the Pilots did some good things there. Hugo, I'm curious for him to drop it. 8.5 left in the second quarter. And there's 2 points at the hoop. Both teams are playing on a back-to-back. Kind of seriously, Vincent called for the travel there, trying to swivel around and find a teammate. Another look at what happened on the previous play. The right foot and the left foot. In fact, the referees are probably generous with that one. On the other side, they say a block shot. Stay with the Kings. 3 seconds left. Number 4, Li Wei-Ting. Xijingyao flew over to get on that one. Yu will pull up the 3. Oh, good. Ling Jingbang, even at his senior statures, still got a little hops in there. And an offensive foul. They call Quincy Davis illegal screen. Not much resistance from the veteran center. You get to take another look at it. Kind of spinning around there, and that would be a very disruptive move, so good call by the refs. Good trap as Washburn Calvin sticks with it and scores. Cutting back door. Kind of an adventurous pass by Ling Sun. Turnover in transition. The Kings will call a timeout. An extended stretch for Amigo and Q. We'll see how much they play in this preseason game. The Taoyuan Pauian Pilots lead things by 10. The next time you get to watch Plus League basketball after today, it is the regular season. November 5th, 2022 is the opener between the champion Taipei Football Braves at home against their vanquished opponent in the Hsinchu Jiko Lioneers, seeking to regain that #1 seed and this time take it all the way to the top. But the 3-point barrage by the Pilots has been the story in this one. After being bottom in the league last season from beyond the arc, should be a great boost to the team if they can stroke it with such efficiency. 9 for 15 so far, and only 2 for 10 from the Kings. One of them was Amigo, I recall, in the corner. The Pilots will inbound. It's sitting out. Looking at a wedge formation against the Kings zone defense. Seen this happen a few times where people don't see the pass. Waiting amongst two. Didn't get the shot off cleanly. No subs for the Kings. As Linton, feeling himself, takes another and hits another. It seems like there's a miscommunication, and right in front of me I saw Ling Jingbang and Amigo gesturing around. We were only playing zone 1 for 1 possession. Maybe that's what they said. I'll figure it out later. Waiting, close miss. As you see Rivero heading over the scorer's table. Washburn trying to take on Q. Missing, and ricocheted rebound. Here come the Kings really quick. That's how powerful the outlet pass is. Li Weiting supposed to take the even harder shot, so not finding the success he did early in yesterday's game against the Braves. Once again, it was the Chris Johnson show. Not a lot of movement going until the foul underneath. Again, Linton throwing that backdoor pass. A lot more air underneath it. Not very safe. They're going to hang on and get a foul. You can see the off-ball foul right in front of myself and referee advisor J.D. Caldwell. Rivero to Ayao, who just misses the runner. Artist is back in the game. 10 points, he's got the most on the floor as Q, patient with it, banks it home. Those long arms going to work. They seem to stretch forever as Rivero gets a crease and drops it, picks it back up, and gets the English as Q helped up. There's a foul call. I think one thing that all the Pilots and certainly a lot of players in Taiwan can learn from Rivero is changing up the timing. As you mentioned, he's not line drive the fastest player, but changing pace, changing the direction of footwork. So the Q taking a seat in the middle there. A little tap out of the way. He's checked out. Mullins is in. Poked away by Justin, and they call a foul first. Thinking about Li Weiting, which would be awkward because they might wave away the basket if that's the call, which kind of stuck between two places on that play if you're the referees. And I think the Pilots on their bench don't really know how to feel about it either. So we see the anticipation, the pass, and they kind of just tripped each other up, so. Seems like they're gonna change it to a 2-point score with the tripping foul. Good control by Justin to stay up and finish the play. Well, that's interesting. He's going to get these unsportsmanlike free throws anyways. interesting. Special the case where only one free throw and possession after the made bucket. Guess an education for me and JB about how that rule works. Second year in the league. Hope to make a lot more progress on our efficiency front. Washburn takes the contact and finishes with the baby jumper. Now a 17-point lead. Reverse layup and a beauty by Mullen. This time getting all the way to the right hand. Rivero, dangerous pass is hardest. Gets in front of it. A couple big bodies over by us as Li Weiting missing the three and long rebound. Little high-low going on. As Washburn lines one up, flicks it, and something's off of the mechanics there. He tries again and another miss. Maybe feeling the effects of that back-to-back for a rookie. Right now, lid on the both sides on 2 baskets. Nice slip pass and Washburn with a soft dunk as the basketball coach behind us. Some of the Pilots players who played yesterday but getting the day off. Feeling 13 assists already. Kings only had 15 yesterday as JJ with a pretty stroke on the flare screen. That's a play a lot of coaches here in Taiwan try to draw up as little slippery floor. Rivero gives it up. Steve, he scores and the foul underneath. Unlucky back and forth there for the Pilots. Ryan Mullins trying to get something checked out with the scoreboard. Route that number 8 had to take to get back on to his man. Obviously, Wu Jingxiang, if you're too short, can't jump up to get that block. Almost better getting out of the way. Looks like number 22, fellow rookie of Li Weiting, Carlton, checking the game out of Tianjin University. A couple of teammates went to the Braves. One went to a different team in a different league. Maybe going to get a little bit more of the minutes from the guy in the white shirt, Lin Sixuan, who's in and out of military service right now. He and Yang Sung-yin, number 18 of the Dreamers. Players can get exemptions. Notably, basketball players, baseball players can get exemptions if they are playing for the national team. Anyways, Lin Sixuan, interesting enough, is joined by Su Sixuan, so we have a big and little sushi situation with the Kings after we have the 3 Lus of the Steelers. That's Captain Lu, we got Medium Lu, number 15, Wu Te-yi, and Little Lu, Wang Luxiang. And of all those 3 Lus, only Wang Luxiang is Little Lu because of being Lewis, L-E-W-I-S. Free throw. Now has got 3 points. Get the trap going, and pilots just break it. Nice handle. There's Wu Junxiang. He's off to Taoyuan, who's in for the first time. Pong tries from 3. Right now, the pilots are got a lot better energy on the offensive end than yesterday. Maybe Coach Marchand, you might have heard, wants his players to be playing up. As we see the hook on the left hand, what was called. Well, anyways, the Dreamers are known for that front court pressure that their guards will put on. Huang will come in for Pomo. So it seems like the pilots are changing course and playing Huang at a big position instead of maybe 2 or 3. Galton passes and runs off. Owens goes baseline, getting the foul again. He loves to pivot down to the baseline when he's on that left block. Washburn is learning. Saw that extra hand get in there, and Mullins is too strong for that. Got that lead back at the scorers column with 13 now. Justin, lucky to keep it. Number 69 out of Wuren Dashi. Washburn had the foul from the side. That's Galton. Now Galton also has an Aboriginal name. That's Sao Li. Sao Li Kao. Probably more like Kao. I have to double check. He is the shortest player to be drafted at only 176 centimeters. Played in a school that actually almost prided themselves on being small. And Jianxing, champions 2 seasons ago at the UBA level. So cross-screen action, and Mullins getting to the hoop. This time Washburn played defense legally, and it was still not enough to get the stop. Justin, quick to the hoop, blows the layup, and we got a little awkward play here where Zhijingao kind of ended up on top of the basketball. Actually, Mullins every time now, baseline. If you force him to the outside, he might have to take that turnaround shot that he likes, but respectfully, not super high percentage. This time at the high post. Stepping in, leaving it short, and Galton, look what I found. Reloads to the 3 and swirls out. Right. Zhijingao, 1 man to beat, and a foul call. And I think the Pilots want a little bit more on this one. Went for the ball. Certainly hit both of Zhijingao's hands. That was how hard he got hit. He'll go to the line. Looks like a 2 free throw, common foul. Trying to open up a little bit more. Zhijingao hits the free throw. Short with the second. And Taoyuan Ray to Huang Han. Out to Aya for another chance. No, and Washburn blows the first, but hits the second. As again, Taoyuan Ray, incredible 2 saves, 1 on each corner here. Pilots called timeout, probably a scheduled one with a scorer's table, but look like they all have all smiles over there. Meanwhile, on the King side, things are getting a little bit lackadaisical. Very one-dimensional offense going on right now on that side. Now Washburn has 15 points equal to his counter and Mullins, as looks like the Kings are gonna make some substitutions.
Okay, so we are Jao, Edson, Justin,
Right corner,
right corner, and
Gary Caminos. I'm doing my best to try to pronounce his name. We have the battle of the head coaches turned English commentators right now.
One foul decision. After basket, everything happens.
Archon in the early game, Caminos in the later game. And the day before, we had Sean Kilmartin of the Lioneer staff join me for the entire broadcast, which was a lot of fun. Maybe we can make this a thing we do every preseason. JJ and Steve right now marking their man in the Kings defensive set. Looks to be a 2-3 zone. Mullins and Artis flanking Q. One last possession to go. Washburn feints the screen, catches it, shoots it. Not close again. Hitting the rim, but not making it in. Number 8 with the circus attempt there. We're going into halftime at 56-43. Game 5 of 6 in the Plus League preseason schedule. Thanks for watching. We'll go to halftime.
好，请在这边准备1位，还有呢，其他3位呢，来，请到这边。1、2、3、4，好，来游戏规则呢，我们跟大家讲一下，我们比积分，投篮积分。好，那我等会有3个点要轮流投，第一个是在禁区，第二个是禁区外，只要是黑色地板禁区外都可以。第3个是3分区，好，所以禁区跟禁区外一样是2分，3分出手一样是3分，了解吗？OK， 好，就每一个点要投是只有1球的机会，无尽赶快到下一个点，赶快到下一个点，这样轮着投，轮着投 ，OK， 40秒的时间，看谁可以拿到最高分，只有1位可以获得我们的奖品 ，OK， 好，那这边呢就由国王我们 Davis 这边先来，好不好？好，那我们准备区都请在禁区黑色禁区内，你要在篮下或是远一点都可以。好，那游戏规则了解了哦。请听到音乐 Ready Go 的时候才可以做出手哦。好，老师音乐起下。好，很好，如果的禁区的2分先拿到，禁区外的2分插板没有进，来3分，3分的出手呢要用力一点。昨天最高分是10分，好，这球差一点。好，目前累积到4分了。禁区外插板也有6分，非常好。一样是15主角3分区，好，可以暖掉了，赶快，轮太远的加油，快点！我们是自己投自己捡哦，我们都以球公平。好，现在目前是6分。5、4、3、2、1。第一个3分，快点！这球出手，哎呀，可惜慢了。好，给他掌声鼓励一下。目前最高累积6分。好，下一位。 们就靠西南方，这就你了。好，来，没有穿球衣，那请问你是哪一队的球迷？钢铁人球迷，太好，给钢铁人球迷掌声鼓励一下。来，我们从禁区啊，黑色区，黑色地板里面禁区开始。OK， 好，准备听 Ready Go， 听 Ready Go， 来，老师音乐。 好，那回到禁区外，换的要换的，那个不算，推到禁区外，对，禁区外，好，从罚球线开始，有罚球线数3分，换3分线，好，目前2分哦，赶快自己再捡，小心摄影师，好，摄影师帮你捡球，篮下的出手插板也可以，好，目前4分，好，加油加油！ 咱们大力点，这球有点弧度，有点高，还不错。好，这球进就是6分了，可惜。
On the third day of a long weekend, they've upped the difficulty of the halftime shooting contest, and pretty clearly that the contestants are having a little bit of a harder time. Not having a hard time though is Taipei and Yang Zhenlei. On the Mandarin broadcast, I'm Ryan Chen, your English commentator as always for a Plus League basketball game. All right, now looking at the halftime stats so far, the three-point stroke for the Pilots has ballooned them to this lead by 13 points. They also have an advantage on the boards and with assists. Pretty even with turnovers, which I'm sure Sean Chen, the general manager of the Pilots, like to see, as he's seen his team 2 years in a row struggle with their turnover margin. The Kings got 15 points from us. We'll break down the individual scoring, but right now, as I mentioned, looking a little bit one-dimensional on the offensive end, as they won't be getting very much time from some of their regular starters like Kyle, who's not registered for the game, or Nigo, Joseph Lim, who we expect to have limited rotation minutes. So we'll see how the kids keep up with the competition. It looks like the Kings won't play Devon Summers, though, on a back-to-back quite yet. Well, speaking of momentum, though, it could be short-lived in-game or in the season, as far as you hear the phrase, basketball's a game of runs. Well, 3 separate teams last season went on 7-game winning streaks. The Braves, the Kings, and the Lioneers. Of course, the seedings fell where they were. So recap, the Braves beat the Dreamers twice at home before the Dreamers then went to Hurricane and obliterated the eventual champs in Game 3, and a double overtime odyssey finished off that series. And on the other side, only the home team won between the Lioneers and Kings. So it was close down to the end. Of course, a winner-take-all game. Typically a lot of fun and really exciting. But in the finals, of course, the Lioneers pull it out in Game 1, but then the Braves take 4 straight, with 3 or 4 in the middle of them. Excruciatingly exciting. Culminating on our first ever trophy ceremony, which is a lot of fun. That's enough stalling for me. We'll be heading to a commercial break for the second segment of our halftime breakdown.
Now 继续的为喜爱的球队来加油打气了。好，离第3节比赛开始呢，还有8分钟。那在这中场休息时间呢，也再一次跟大家广播一下，在我们的环廊处呢，有6队的加油留言板。那请各位呢，如果所有球迷朋友，你有话想要对球队说，对球员说，我们这边都准备纸条，让大家来写给你的球员。写完之后呢，贴在我们6队留言板，还会贴 器。另外呢，我们在环廊处有我们商品部有做贩卖，除了联盟的商品部之外呢，我们高雄钢铁人也有商品部，目前部分的商品呢几乎都是5折，所以请大家可以去参观选购。而在高雄钢铁商品部对面呢，是我们17直播的摊位互动区，你只要下载17直播的 app， 并且注册登录会员，就可以换得我们免费的运动饮料，还可以加码抽我们的城市版球衣以及浴巾，甚至是零钱包、钥匙圈等等奖品要送给你。好，那我们所有朋友呢，另外呢，在我们第2场比赛开始之前，我们也要请朋友来参加铁口直断的活动。你只要预测我们人伟高雄钢铁人对战新竹街口工程师钢铁人首位投进3分球的球员是谁？预测成功，我们就会抽出1位朋友获得高雄钢铁人所提供的奖品以及好礼。好，那目前时间呢还有6分多钟，大家不妨到中场的游戏人以及我们的环廊处准备去走走逛逛，谢谢大家。
Kaohsiung Fengsan Stadium, the location of the only Plus League preseason stop before our 3rd year of operations. Looking through the box scores of the first half, we get you the point tallies as such. Jason Washburn with 15, followed by fellow center starter Ling Zhen, goes by 10 with 8, including a pretty crazy bank shot 3. Sijinhao's hit a couple threes, he's got 7, and Bai Yaoten, a couple threes himself. Wu Jingxiang, he's got 5 points. Right now, 10 for 20 are the pilots. And they're having a swell time on a back-to-back. So you'd expect a little bit more rotation. So Zhang only playing about 6 minutes in the first. Certainly a lot of anticipation and expectations on him as the first overall pick, but he's slowly working up to his best form, as he has been dealing with a lot of little nagging injuries from the Rising Stars competition. And Washburn certainly showing off better than he did in his debut yesterday. I'm sure he will like to find that outside stroke though and join the fun. He's over 2 for 3, but 5 for 6 from the line, so taking the lion's share of those chances for the Pilots. Meanwhile, on the Kings side, Byron Mullins leads things with 16 points, followed by Artis with 9, Amigo off the bench with 5. They also have a number of guys with 2s and 3s. They want to spread the wealth a little bit more if you're the Kings. One thing that has been clearly the advantage for the Kings, obviously, is Byron Mullins when he gets close to the basket. 20 points in the paint for the Kings. And if we're just looking at individual stats, Mullins is 6 for 9 and down there. Well, 3 weeks to go before the regular season starts. We'll see how the teams manage their final half of preseason basketball in front of a paying audience. They've been good so far. We expect even more energy for the late game if you stick with us. But we'll be heading to a commercial break before we get back with the second half. a second row of courtside seating put here around the floor in the home of the Steelers as they try to increase fan engagement, maybe increase the level of enthusiasm. As we see some Taoyuan fans wearing the orange face masks as he's on his third team now. Before we get to the action on the floor, Taoyuan averaged 13 points, all first team player, all first defensive team, and then in the second year with the Dreamers, only 6.6 points, battling a lot of injuries. Over there, Martin able to finish with 2 off the assist from, Jamal Atmos. Artis. I think I'd be able to do it after 2 days. Washburn from mid-range this time. A little 2 for 2 in the first 2 possessions. Martin, Steven, Li Weiting, Mullins, and Artis, your 5 Kings players. Washburn, Ayao, Calvin, Pong Pong, and Mayao. Pong Pong in place of Lingzhen. You're talking about starting from the beginning of the game. And Calvin takes a step back. Nice one. Didn't see that much out of his arsenal. He's usually a shooter drive guy. Having some words with his former general manager and Kenny Gao when they were both going to the first year of the Lioneers. He stopped Steve. The Byron Mullins strokes him with the. Remember Mullins hit consecutive threes in his debut with the Kings last regular season as Ayo took a hard hit. Is taking a little bit of time to recover. The first foul of the second half. Ayo creates a little separation. Fouled on the hand on that jump shot. A little rookie lesson from Li Weiting. Fouls the shooter there, trying to chase. Definitely tough, right-handed shooter coming in from the left side. A free throw by Sijia, who provided the highlight of last year's preseason stop here in Kaohsiung, where he took a running start and basically laid it up in transition for 3 points. If you can digest that a little bit. We call that a qima sejian, where you bring your knee up high and shoot. Palm facing up. They say it will be Pilots basketball. So literally, it was a 3-point layup. Calvin to Pong Pong, hand off to Ayao, and they say illegal screen as he wasn't set and stayed set. We're gonna look. He's kind of ringing into guys, which created an opening like that. It's a lot more eye-popping. Pilots zone up as Mullins goes to the basket. Tough layup, no. Artis with the foul on the second attempt. Foul's going to be on number 27, Zhang Zhenya. He admitted himself he's got to make that adjustment to playing a small forward after being a power forward in college, even though he was one of the sweetest shooting players at that level. Another make. Mel Artis was 4 for 5 at the free throw line in the first half. And won't have a perfect run for the second half, but just 1 of 2. He's showing up better defensive fundamentals than he showed at time with the Rising Stars. Mayo pops that pass free, and Washburn takes the baseline jumper. It doesn't look pretty, but it was sure effective. Maybe that's something he picked up while he was playing in Japan. Turnaround shot for Byron Mullins. Gesturing his teammate to get more movement, but sure didn't wait on them. Calvin falls and drops the dribble. Helped up by Mullins, but on the other side, Stevens stays strong and finishes in amongst the crowd of pilots. That's one guy that has that fancy footwork going, maybe like Rivera, as you guys in the chat might expect. Then Mayo stops the fast break. Martin, not often a ball handler. But Mullins, who swishes the air ball. Not a lot of rotations going on for the Kings. The Tanjunan fend off the defender, then keep his momentum to put himself in position to score. Now Pompon trying to do the same thing. Making the shot himself. Back to that 13-point lead. First score for the center, about just 200 centimeters. Worth all the centimeter in his weight. Now down to the corner to Washburn the trailer. He spins, reverse pivots, and the right-handed hook. Pretty. Now he's feeling it after, as we mentioned, a tough debut that he's quickly shaking off. The other side, reverse, left short. As Pilots didn't seem to want to go with pace on that fast break. Artist gets his hand on it, but Mayo hangs on to it. Now with a three-point try on the way, short. Ayo with another board, he throws it up. Didn't have to. Got to get back to recover as we got a deflected pass that will go the Pilots' way. A tough break there on a 2-on-1. 6:31 left. That's the signal for you to get some refreshments as we'll be going to a break. The rest of the second half after this.
我看到你，好，这位朋友拍到你了，大一步看到你了，比1比7，好像快睡着了，你有在看大一步吗 ？Hello， 好，来欢迎一位朋友，比1跟7，请换走我们的奖品，谢谢，比得非常的好。来，这位南区的朋友就是你，没错，看到大一步拍到你比1跟7，对对对，1跟7，哦，这个7也可以。 哦，很好，还记得要换奖品哦。好，这是绿区的，蓝后面的，一手比1，一手比7，对，可以做得非常的好，感谢你的配合。好，这边蓝区的朋友，一手比1，一手比7，很好，谢谢。好，那刚刚。
Oh no, the lady spelled Zhang Zhenyao incorrectly. Well. We have a few more weeks to get those corrected, even you the fans. That's not really good coming from me, who's only got a 4th grade Mandarin comprehension level. No substitutions for the Kings, but the Pilots bring in Ling Zhen and Lu Junxiang. Si Jingyao played one of the highest number of minutes for the Pilots in the first half. Running the point. Tanzania getting marked by Artis. They're trying to get him free. He passes to Washburn, hook to Ken. Little traffic jam down low, and there will be a foul. He took one to the face, trying to get an unsportsmanlike for his effort. And not too much love for his teammates. We do see the swipe on the face, though. Maybe something considerable, and I'm looking up right now, and one of the referees did maybe give a word to Mullins, and I think he got the message. He's got 8 points and make it 9 on the afternoon. He's getting a word. They're all right now. So interesting. Camino switching it up from big to small to big lineups. Now famously, Ling Zhen has an MVP level player in the family and the sister. So as much as the teammates wanted to celebrate, he got a mouthful from Coach Camino. Try to get their concentration back. Artis to Martin. Ling Zhen contests the Mullins shot, but he's too good from out there. Ethan splits in the middle and scores. Ken getting him open on the handoff and screen. Waiting, scores at the basket. As Ken had that one blocked by Mullins. Second attempt by Washburn was no good. Country and that foul though by the help side defender there. So, it's the preseason, but you better be ready to fight. Here's a score on one end, the block on the other. Mullins athletic enough to get in on defense for a second effort. Well, you see Q subbed in.
Coach!
Now this year, with our broadcast partners, we're going to be putting cameras behind the baskets in more games, so giving everybody different looks at Plus League basketball. Calvin will check in for Maya, who did his best to shake really tight defense by the Kings. Q pressures Ken. As Ethan probably got free, but the pass intercepted. A little 2-on-2 as Amigo takes the mid-range. Kind of rare for him. And I do not know why Calvin asked for the basketball right there. Justin floating right, missing left with that three-point attempt. Joseph Lin getting the staggered minutes with Q. Artis picks up the dribble. Q takes the foul. Thought he got away with one, but he did not. As as wiry as he is, Q is very strong. So that's what we call context clues when he's floating right there. Bounces that one out, and Joseph Lin, the benefactor of some lucky ricochets. And this time it bounces in again. This is Mullins. Ethan dribbles it out of bounds as Joseph Lin was applying the pressure. Like that Washburn. Gonna get a break. I guess not that much pressure. Milo, Quincy to Amigo on the handoff. Mullins feeling another three. Left it short though. Maybe he thinks of himself like Chris McCullough. Back door to Justin, who gets the roll. Wow! What a pass too by Pom from the top. Joseph Lin crosses, floats it, no. A little bit of a pile up as the Pilots clear it. Calvin over to Pom, who sidesteps the Mullins contest and scores with the layup. Man, we haven't seen the Pilots feel this good about themselves in a long time. To be fair, we do have an off season in between. They lead things 76-62 as we have a timeout on the floor. See, as much as Artis is playing tight defense, you keep your eye off the ball, sometimes it'll slip right behind you. Pom made a three early and get into the hoop. Curiously enough, Quincy Davis didn't come over for the help. He was so caught up in contesting Ken. So Guanchen might only have 4 points, but last year's captain and the guy that the guys really rally around. He's been a popular figure with that Pauian locker room for a long time. There you see the design and construction organization logo there around the belly button. And Sean Chen patrols the baseline. He also gets involved with the pregame work that the player is doing. Rebounding for them, providing some instructions. The Pilots break their huddle. Maybe reinforcements on the way, as we mentioned. Amdi Dang heard word that he might be able to join the team mid-season when he's recovered from the injury and built up enough strength. That'll be a lot of fun. Listed at 207 centimeters. A little bit of a 1-1-3 zone look for the Pilots. Artis left open. Pump fakes and hits the reload. Calvin setting a screen in the dead corner there. Careless with the handoff. Lucky to keep it. Ethan putting his head down, taking the tough shot, and again, the rim on that side is nice and soft. Unlike over here on the front of the yellow seats in the stadium, we had 4 air balls in one of these games. Q blows the close one. Forcing a second reset. Try again from the corner. This time, barely got anything. Good transition as Ethan misses and follows his own shot up. Right now, the Kings can't be happy with the effort they're showing. Justin tries from 3 and buries it. So they were really serious about hiding some things or doing some things funky with the personnel group. Quick pass, Mullins able to score at the foul. Not enough help there for the Pilots defense. Need to double check some things here as you see Artis left open and Lington, even as much as he wanted to go defend Mullins down there, was too late. The leading scorer of the game, number 5 with 28, 29. JJ into the game. Guard shooter for the Kings. He's marking Justin Wuchingxiang. He gets in a little trouble and passes his way out of it. Still tangled up. Q and Ken. Referees let them play through it, and maybe in the regular season you see a little bit more deception and deceitfulness. I need to work that up. Looking for Q, he seals off one and gets the foul from another. I don't know if it's quite that much, but right now Q on that possession having the value of 2. There's a Pong with that tough lay-in. Probably could have got something extra on it too. Right now, 3 Pilots with a double-digit scoring on the floor. Quincy Davis leaves it short, and Ken almost bounces it in. Got to check the scores card for CU's captain as Amigo intercepts, and Q is patient with it and lays it in. 4 seconds left on the clock. Might not get this shot off. We'll see how the scorekeepers view that play, but at the end of the 3rd quarter, that 13-point lead stays true for the boys in white. We head to the final frame.
When they press to you, don't start doing too many changes. One, change direction.
producer came in a little bit late. That was DJ AG of the, more often than not, the Formosa Taisheng Dreamers up in Kaohsiung. I mean, excuse me, we're in Kaohsiung, in Taichung. But Achi also was a DJ for the Interleague series. And we got through 38 games in a 10-day span, I believe. The Kings come out and no imports. That's right. Quincy Davis is a local player in the Plus League after long tenured service with Team Chinese Taipei. Xiaobai with the extremely deep three. Holy! That's a way to start the fourth quarter. He's been picking up his dribble a little bit too early, getting into some trouble. He squeezes away to more space on the block. The double comes. Joseph with a tough footwork. Can't get the shot off. Calvin plays a little snake with the basketball and barely gets it over the timeline in time. Gets around Amigo, but Davis affects the shot. Joseph Lin loose with it, and Ethan pokes it out of bounds on the back end. Seems like Joseph and Justin were playing that fast break a little too casually, as we see that deep shot from maybe 26 feet out. And that's what I'm talking about. It's like the further it is, the more accurate he is. On the curl, back to Q. He's patient with it. They call a foul. Looks like they might be calling it on the help, though. No, it's on 25. And I believe that might be his 5th foul. We see what's going on. A little hand down, yeah. That's the kind of tricky thing for centers going against Quincy Davis. Those elbows are so unstoppable in a legal fashion, mostly. Not to fret, Lingzhen also has 10 points. And a pretty decent job on defense. Now the Kings showing a little bit of pressure. Ego giving chase as well, and the layup, no good. Q. The only big back there is the Pilots didn't hustle to help out. Cutting, looking for a pass and throwing an interception. Amigo down the other way. Justin, down and one. Little Joseph on Justin crime there, and the referee is going to give another free throw to number 69. Nice pass by Ethan there, right into the pocket. At the line. He can't hit, and maybe the scorekeeper will save Lingzhen to miss 2 there. Ball goes out of bounds off of JJ. Right now, the Kings can't get in rhythm. Kind of splitting their rotation in half. Don't have a full squad, and right now, got to maybe make it up on the defensive end. Mayo's in the game, along with number 22, Hong Han. A tough layup, miss. Teammate saves him. Now the Kings a little bit zoned up. A tough shot missed. More of a fight, and Hong Kong finally fouled down low. Not much you could say there, but the ball bouncing the way of the Pilots. Almost buries that free throw. Looking a little bit more steady at the free throw line. Last year, his shot was askew, literally. A little bit more left to right. I think we found something in those off-season workouts. JJ pops that one free. Q doubled. Passes out of it. 1 second left. Nico bricks that shot, and JJ, another mistake. Crashing the rebounder instead of crashing the board. So it looks like we'll need to take a breather as Artis will check in. Doesn't want to take on an MVP yet. Oh, he's got the mismatch. Mayo, his deep three. Rainbow is up. No. A couple ricochets between Calvin and Han Han. Patient with it. Time for Mayo to take a possession of the low block and a foul on the reach. Nico resisted initially, then figured a few eyes were on that play. See the ball pop up, hands go down. First curl doesn't open up. Now we're the second. Kick as Ethan misses the runner. And again, this time it's Steve with the Butterfingers. Referees are going to swap that ball out. Well, if the Kings didn't get enough defensive slide practice this offseason, they're getting it now. Swing it over. Another block, Davis against Pom Pom. Too easy. Davis might have been a little overconfident amigo there. But free throws will be coming up. I don't know if you guys caught it, but Coach Caminos is sitting on the bench with Ayal. I don't know if he's eligible to get on the floor and play. Players coach would be a first in the Plus League history. There's been cases that the coaches would allow the players to run the huddle. Maybe not as much as you might see toward the end of the season in the NBA, for example. Martin's in the game. We went from Li Yifeng to Li Reiqi, which admittedly, folks, is a lot harder to write. Ethan trying to find somebody. Maya with a push three instead. I don't know if you necessarily needed to go to that. Behind the back, and well, Artis with a nice finish in transition. Now the Kings trying to get that energy back, giving a little three-quarter court man-to-man. Time for the pilots to be a little stagnant. Deep, in and out. Nico need to get more flow. He's got 7 points. Bringing around Joseph, tough runner. Good shot, and Aya, who got that instruction from Camino, throws it out of bounds. Not on the same page. Timeout, Pilots, as probably need a breather for the guys on the floor more than anything. 7 minutes to go in this one, but a whole nother ball game left after as we wrap up things from Kaohsiung in the Plus League preseason.
好，谢谢。比赛还没有结束，我们希望呢，国王队可以继续投进3分。那么继续将我们的得项券优惠券送给大家。
Last chance for the new Taipei Kings on screen, and on the other side, the Pauian Pilots to get a little preseason run in before they're just left with some practices and inter-team scrimmages. Xiaobai has stepped up in this one, scoring some long threes and finding those opportunities inside as well. Drive first guard in college. Right now applying the pressure against Joseph. They get the switch. Lamar chooses to shoot it. All hand, look what I found. Tough give and a tough finish for Ethan. Threading the needle with Teng Guanquan. Oh, he just keeps upping the difficulty on these passes. Between Artis and Quincy Davis. Davis gave him a step too. Sure, with a free throw. I told you. The number 30 is too close. Actually, he's wearing number 30. Got a number and a basket kit. Nice save by Malhan. Ayo will get the scoop layup. Artist. And on the back end of the defense. The foul on the shot attempt, it seems. Not that many smiles yesterday, and quite a few more today as we see, ooh, a little extra stuff down low, but that's the opening that Mayo needed to score. But on the other end, he commits the foul. He's got 5 personal. Talk about teams needing to have their local stars. Well, Ego is definitely a big one for the Kings. Alongside maybe like Lee Kaiyan, who can dunk the basketball at just 180 centimeters. Obviously, you have Quincy Davis, old reliable. I'm playing fast and loose with it. The Pods kind of need that guy after Quincy Davis erases that shot. And a contest, they'll keep it with the Kings. I don't know why they got so many celebrations for Hong Han, who Another hard block by Q. Joseph Lin throws that out of bounds, not on the same page as Amigo. They're getting really sloppy sometimes with these outlet passes from the middle driver. On, spins, seals off the defender, and will get an and one opportunity. That's all you need to do is get that spin cycle going. I don't know how many times I had to say that is a in-fashion move for the Plus League, especially in Season 2. Timeout as two teams talk it over. Sean Chen, the closest Taiwanese foreign player to make his way to NBA training camp with the Sacramento Kings. Maybe he can help out, develop another guy standing at 195 centimeters. Can really jump, and toward the end of his career could really shoot the ball from outside too. But anyways, back to the action on the floor. All good. And Omar sets three. Artist spins into a turnover. Oh man, blocked at the rim. Is that Ling Qingbang, former teammate? Sounds like a tough layup and no good. And picks Nioma. That doesn't seem that fair. Long time. I guess 2 years ago, teammates at Central University as Justin had that one erased. Wow. Foul in transition, but I want to get another look at that one. 105 centimeter from Senegal. Reacted just fast enough. What you want to see if you're the coaching staff. Center, not necessarily the verticality, but certainly the right timing. Another second screen that Omar, this is the mid-range. Definitely showed off a better finishing ability. Galton links into a much strengthened Sijingyao. Dippin', it looks like they're going to give credit to Omar. 24 years old. Last year was the 7th overall pick in the draft. And you might say, 7th? How did that end up in the first round? Well, last year, the Kings and the Steelers got expansion team bonus picks at the end of the round, so that's why we consider it still the first round. Before the Lioneers picked again, the second round, first of that round. Got the tongue twister. But they chose to forfeit, so they came away with just Pauian, the shooter from Jiangxing University. Good to see 2 of their rookies craft. Pilots finally figure out how they want to get their second-year guy, Su Zizhen, onto the floor. It's a little bit sturdier than Pauian, who's he guarding on the floor. And Su Zizhen, another MTSU player. One more. Spins into trouble. And with the 3, he didn't score at all in his only plus league game last season. Pauian tries to get it back, shows him how it's done. After missing it, he proved badly yesterday. That's a great sign. Teams content with slowing it up a little bit to finish the last 3.5 minutes of this contest. Justin along with it. Omar, nice call with that one. Lacey throws it right to the defense. Justin missed several in a row and hit the side of the backboard. He can't get stepped out soon enough. Down low, and Taoyuan might be the victim of a little bit of a hand fighting match out down low. See the handoff. Got hand on one side, hand on the other side, and I think the referee's got that one right. Jiangxiang's preseason numbers will suffer. I don't know if mind so much with a 15-point lead. Pauian made his debut in the big arena at NTSU, where the Pilots opened up their home schedule. Unfortunately, he got an injury between the 2 games. And Su Zizhen, after getting a rebound, now he got a foul to his name. Here we see the arm wrap. For number 15. There's the free throw totals on the screen. 18 makes for the Kings. Here's James Ma, our first look at the general manager for the Kings in a little bit. Now going to the basket. So we'll get a chance to score at the line. Beating one guy and sort of pirouette his way. He'll head to the line. There he is. First point in his preseason career. He was injured for almost the entirety of last season. A perfect 2-2. That's not easy for guys who don't get a lot of court time. Waiting. Misses the mark with that 3. Pauian playing hard and forcing a couple deflections. Nice move by the referees to avoid the collision there. I think he made that out of bounds call too. It seems like there's 3 teams playing right now. One time leads the way. Anyway, he pushes one up. Long rebound to the Pilots. Susan from the corner. Perfect. A much better start to his career of scoring. And in the one game he played against the Dreamers where they suffocated the Pilots. Driving kick, let's see if they can get rewarded. No, with the missed shot by Wayne from 3. Under a minute. Would you say the Pilots showed a lot of improvement from one day to the next, or perhaps we talked about that momentum early actually carried through throughout the game? On the Kings side, certainly disappointed with the effort down the middle with a lot of those loose balls. They probably didn't mind too much though, as they wanted to rotate a ton of guys in, and in fact, 3 of their starters in and out from day 1 to day 2. A couple possessions left as we're kind of starting to see some of the Lioneers and the Steelers starting to pop out from the locker rooms here. Another tough pass. Wayne able to get the finish. We got 5 points and has 105 points as we wrap up the 5th game. Stick around for that player interview after the players sort themselves out, do their break the huddle in the middle of the floor. The Pilots won 3 of the quarters, tied with 27 in the 3rd. Certainly the kind of scoring output they would like to have for themselves if they can in the regular season. Oh, it definitely is a preseason that's kind of gone to show to me for the Kings side that importance and energy that Lee Kai-in will bring on the offensive side, certainly in transition. Quincy Davis getting some run to healthy doses of cheers. And if you had to choose, it certainly feels better to even end a preseason series with a win. I think they're trying to force somebody that was unexpected to take the microphone and headset, but it will be number 30. 碰碰陈冠权。
没有啦，没有。没有啦，就是教练希望我可以帮忙控球，分担一些，比如说像策应啊，或是接球的东西啊。对，所以就是他信任我，我也信任他。是。 对啊，因为就是练球的时候，只要就是在弧顶拿到球啊，然后进攻啊，只要不做动作就会被那个教练骂。对，皮痒啊。对对。哦，就是他算是我们领航员的隐藏角色啊，就是要按秘技才会出来。好，好，没问题，谢谢。
Pombo expressing that the coach put trust in him and wanted him to pass a little bit more, and there's an emphasis for the players and the coaches to play with enthusiasm on the game. We'll go to a last break before wrapping things up. Game 5 of 6 of the Club League preseason. Lioneers and Steelers are in their layup lines as they prep for the final game of the preseason, but to tie a knot on the Kings Pilots game that we just took part in the broadcast. Pilots able to take the lead from beginning to end of the matchup, 105-84 is the final score. They assisted more, and that might be something the Kings are willingly giving up, at least in the preseason, as they mix up their lineups and kind of hide their hand of their schemes offensively and defensively. Only hit 7 of 25 threes for 20%, which is a mark that they'll certainly look to improve. As we mentioned, the Lioneers with Anthony Bennett, the former Steeler, taking on his old team in their place. Well, thanks to Yang Tenlei for the weekend, but Taipei and I will have one more game on our docket. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.